Hey guys, Tony here. Back to do a recent vinyl editions video. Feels like it's been a while. Been meaning to do one for a while. It's probably only been a few weeks though. But anyway, so breaking all the rules here tonight. I know I said I was going to keep the number of records down, but I'm so behind. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to run through these as quick as possible. We'll see how it goes. You know how it is. Really, gonna try and go through them quick. So I'm gonna get right to it. And for those of you who like seeing a lot of records, you're gonna love this. So picked up Peter Bowman, Romance '76, sort of a minimalist, early electronic, sort of sparse sounding. Peter Bowman is probably best known for his work in Tangerine Dream. Not a bad album. I wasn't blown away by it, but I gotta revisit it. It's a promo copy on Virgin Records, and it was only like $5 or $6, so couldn't leave that there. I mean, you know. This one too, I listened. I've had this for a little while. Don't remember being particularly blown away when I listened to it, but again, it was cheap. So the Hello People with Fusion, which is their second album, sort of a psychedelic pop, sort of strange at times, sort of cheesy at times. The Hello People, New York band. I think they were originally some sort of mime troupe or something like that. You can see, like, you know, their makeup there. But yeah, not bad. I gotta revisit it again though. The Hello People. Like everybody else, I'm sure, I picked up the new Nick Cave, Pushing the Sky Away. Really enjoyed it. Gotta listen to it again, but I really liked what I heard, so happy to get it. I picked it up. Probably like over a week ago now, so I've listened to it maybe twice. So yeah, not a bad album by him. Again, I go through these quick, but someday I will revisit records. And you know, Marion Brown, one of my favorite jazz players, man, just still underrated. This is Vista, so not quite as free as a lot of his other work, but still excellent. Yeah, what is it to say? 1975, a beautiful record by him. Yeah, what a player he was. Marion Brown. Picked up these reissues, and I picked up this one first. And at first I didn't know what to think. It's very poppy, but I kept listening to it, and like after the second or third spin, I was like hooked. And man, I'm in love with this stuff. Marcos Valle with Gara from what year was this? 1971. Brazilian MPB all the way. This is very poppy. But again, lots of different influences on here, and this is probably the greatest album cover ever. But yeah, really happy to get that one. But even more so, I picked up this one, Vento Sul, killer. Now he starts getting definitely more funky, more soulful, there's more of like a psych element, like sunshine pop at times, and so many different elements in this music. And I'm telling you, I give it a chance, and it's just phenomenal music. It really is. So glad they reissued these. Light in the Attic, by the way, who did a fantastic job. But I think it's a toss-up between this one and this one here. Provisio do Tempo, however you say it. Man, this one is killer. And yeah, really happy to get these again. Fantastic. Do check them out. You know, I'm just really into the Brazilian pop, Tropicalia. Killer. Pick this up. $5. It's a promo copy. You couldn't leave it there. The Flamin' Groovies with Flamin' Groovies Now. Not a bad album, man. I mean, power pop, blues rock. I mean, garage stuff. The Flamin' Groovies. Really happy to get it. And promo copy in beautiful shape. This one too. Everything about it is beautiful except there's a split on the top. But for $6, I wasn't going to leave it. It's an original pressing of Shadows of Night, Gloria. Yeah, for $6, I wasn't leaving it there. But it just has a split on the top, which I might try and fix somehow. on Dunwich in beautiful shape. So fantastic garage Psych. I mean, bluesy garage Psych. This one I picked up a long time ago, and just it kind of got lost in my pile, and I finally got around to listening to it, and yeah, really enjoyed it. I agree with what a lot of people say. It's a very sort of fun listen, really enjoyable. But Deerhoof, their most recent breakup song, 2012 release on white vinyl, so just a regular pressing of it. It's great stuff, really. This one too, new record, 2013 release. I'm sure a lot of people have shown this. I picked it up right when it came out, and yeah, excellent. Listened to it a couple times, but I put it on last night, and it was late, and it was just like the perfect thing for that, for my mood and that time and everything. Just killer. Umberto with Confrontations, yeah, fantastic. He's constantly compared to John Carpenter in that it's very sort of soundtracky, electronic, very Italian electronic, Italian prog, you know. Killer though, absolutely fantastic. I highly recommend this. Umberto, not fun, yeah, killer. Another one of the best sort of Brazilian Tropicalia Psych, just fantastic. The Mutants, As Mutantes, with a Divina Comedia, oh, however you say that. I'm so bad at pronunciation, as you probably know, but this is killer. Reissue, just a regular reissue. Absolutely essential. So glad to get this. Another one, an essential Psych album for sure, with DR Hookers, The Truth. Finally got this. I've been meaning to pick it up for a while. I picked up that Forge Your Own Chains compilation a while back, and there's a track or two from him on there. But yeah, this is 100% essential Psych, and recorded in New Haven, Connecticut, which is where I'm from, really. So yeah, very cool. DR Hookers, The Truth, fantastic Psych, very soulful Psych. This one I picked up a while ago for Andrea's Sonic Mainliner. At the time, I didn't know what it was, and I finally got around to picking it up myself, and man, again, highly recommend this album for those of you who like the very out there Psych, sort of moody, it's very sort of moody Psych krautrock, out there, but Moolah with Woe Ye Demons Possessed, what a record this is. I'm telling you, highly recommend this. You could get this reissue for pretty damn cheap, and it's fantastic. A New York band, this was their only album, but yeah, very much krautrock, I guess is the only way to put it. A cosmic rock relaxation creation. I want to say this came out in like 73 or 74. I could be completely wrong, but Moolah, get it, I'm telling you. Like I said, try and move quicker. This one I just picked up. I listened to it once, and again, blown away. Falacazoid. What are these guys? These guys from like Chile or something. Again, sort of a Psych krautrock outfit, but new, you know. This came out last year on Sacred Bones. Really, really enjoyed this. Falacazoid, killer stuff. This one I pre-ordered like so long ago. I didn't think it was gonna come, but it's the reissue, new reissue on 1972, which I think they do a fantastic job. 1972, all the reissues by them that I picked up, I've really liked. So, but yeah, Stereo Lab with Emperor Tomato Ketchup, killer. One of my favorite albums by them. Definitely one of the first things I've heard by them. But yeah, killer. Really happy to get this. 2 LPs. They did a really good job. It sounds phenomenal. This one I picked up a long time ago, and I'm just getting around to showing it. But Peru Boo's the Bailing Man, Song of the Bailing Man. It's 45 RPM. I don't think I showed this before. I don't know. I don't think so. But yeah, really excellent. Love that band. This is a Jazz Comp. And I was not going to leave this. It was $8, and it's a white label promo. on impulse, so it's impulsively. An interesting cover, but man, this is excellent. I think they tried to pick out some of the more radio-friendly cuts, but it's still a who's who on impulse. So you got Gato Barberari, Keith Jarrett, Mel Brown, John Cleamer, who has one of the best tracks on here, Charlie Hayden, Dewey Redman, Marion Brown, Sun Ra, John Coltrane, and Sam Rivers on here. Again, 2 LPs. It's a gatefold. Both the LPs are in here, though. So yeah, white label. Was not going to leave that there. Excellent. This is a reissue, but still really happy to get it. Sun Ra, Space is the Place. I mean, soundtrack to a film, and it feels like a soundtrack at times, but still very, you know, avant-garde, very funky, just killer. Sun Ra, 2 LPs, gatefold, really heavy reissue, but happy to get it. This one I don't know much about. I feel like I'm moving really quickly, but they were playing it in the record store, and I was immediately struck by it. I was like, "What is this?" They were playing a record, and I was like, "Is it for sale?" You know. But it's Keith Fullerton Whitman with Skoner Fluebagel. I don't know how you say it really, but sort of drone, abstract, modern classical at times. I mean, there's a lot of tape loops and different things going on. I mean, all kinds of instruments and yeah, tape effects, samples, field recordings, computer, classical guitar, clarinet, organ, bells. I mean, this is an amazing record, I have to say. It came out, I don't know what year, not a few years ago, on Cranky. I think it's a limited pressing, but man, this is phenomenal. It really is. And I think he actually played in my area like last weekend. I didn't go, but this is killer. Keith Fullerton Whitman. Found this finally. John Coltrane's Om on Impulse. It's a reissue from like the 80s, but it's a promo. If you could see, there's like a stamp on the barcode. I don't see many promo reissues, but it's a beautiful copy for cheap. I wasn't going to leave that there. So the story is the band and Coltrane had like their first time taking acid, and they took it and performed this. So very free. Pharoah Sanders is on there. I mean, you know, killer. 1965. Killer. Pick this up. Fela Kuti. Teacher Don't Teach Me No Nonsense. So I don't know if this is like an EP or like a 12-inch. Still pretty long, you know, but excellent. Really happy to get it. In nice shape too, but yeah. Moving on, this was a really nice score too. Fever Tree Creation on the Uni label. Fantastic Psych. Pop Psych, Garage Psych, you know, on the Uni label in just mint shape. Really happy to get this. Just love Fever Tree. Love that cover. Definitely have some grails in here, I know. I mean, the word grail is tossed around quite a bit, but I definitely have some grails, so. Inner Space. Fred just showed this, and I was like, he showed a couple things that are in this video, but and this is definitely a Fred record. I think I first heard about it through him, Big Star 1000, and Inner Space. So this is Ron and Val Taylor's Inner Space, which was an Australian show, and the score was done by Sven Liebig, and this is phenomenal. Again, library record. Sort of has a big band sort of sound to it. I don't know how many players are on there, but it seems like quite a few. But yeah, it's like an orchestra. Is it considered? Yeah. Composed and conducted by Sven Liebig. Fantastic record. Really happy they reissued it. But even more than this, I think, now this is not a conclusive opinion, but I think I have to say I like this one a little bit better. This is Sven Liebig and his orchestra, Solar Flares. Much more moodier. Something about it. I just think I enjoyed this a lot more. but they're both phenomenal records, and I highly recommend them both. So yeah, Solar Flares and Inner Space. Really glad they reissued these. What do we have for time? Already at 15 minutes. Alright, not doing too bad. This is a phenomenal album. If you don't know this album, and you like post-rock, and you like talk, you gotta get this album. I'm in love with this record. Bark Psychosis with Hex. Thank God they reissued this too. I mean, really happy to get this. I mean, from 1994, yeah, just one of those albums, like a one-of-a-kind album here. Hex, Bark Psychosis, Monster. This one I gotta thank Dave, Prog and Jazz Man. He talked about this. And I seen this reissue in the store, but really didn't know what it was. I looked at it, but I didn't pick it up, and he talked about it. And I went back and got it, but it's the soundtrack to El Toro. I've never seen the film, but the soundtrack is fantastic. Very psyche. It's like he says, it's a cross between Psych and sort of these Latin grooves, this Latin flavor going on. Alan Klein presents, so he must have either produced the movie and the soundtrack or both. I think originally released on Apple Records, but a really nice reissue, I gotta say. El Toro, happy to get it. Finally got around to picking up this Art Zoid reissue. I'm not gonna try and pronounce that, but this is killer, absolutely killer. Avant-garde. I mean, you know, it's part of the whole rock and opposition movement, really, with Henry Cow, and which I have another record like that to show, but a couple others actually. Art Zoid, phenomenal. I don't want to say it's Magma-esque, but it has like this modern classical cross with free jazz and prog. This is fantastic. Really happy to get it. Picked this up too. An original on Rough Trade. I mean, not that this is really hard to get, but Robert Wyatt, 1982 to 1984, on Rough Trade. I mean, really, can you go wrong? Robert Wyatt, just fantastic. Moody, jazzy, you know, just killer. I gotta flip the record, so hold on. No editing here, so. Oh, what we're listening to, and I don't know if I've ever shown this either, but hold on. But Sensations Fix, I've had this for a while. Fred showed it, and I had almost bought it, but I didn't, and he showed it and talked about it, and I had to go back for it. But yeah, Sensations Fix. It's a compilation, 12-piece set. Really nice, excellent stuff. Sort of Italian prog, but very much krautrocky, you know, electronic, which is sort of, I don't know, just, it's really good. Getting ahead of myself here. Captain Beefheart and his Magic Band, Strictly Personal. Been after this for a while. This is a UK pressing. Rockfile, which reissues, I'm sure. But just happy to get this album. It sounds really good. Yeah, on United Artists. Sort of Beefheart's considered like his Psych album, because there are these effects put on, like phaser effects and different things that I don't think Beefheart was really happy about. But yeah, still happy to get it. Strictly Personal. So I'm a big fan of this album right there, if you could see that. Ultimate Spinach, Beholden Sea. I finally found a copy in good shape and in beautiful shape. Every time I see this album, it's wrecked. Of Ultimate Spinach, their debut. Fantastic Psych. Boston-based Psych. Phenomenal. Not as good. Beholden Sea is definitely their best, but this is still fantastic. On the MGM label, in gorgeous shape. Just so happy to finally get this. Still has the MGM sleeve, but yeah, really. If I can open it up. Here we go. Here's the gatefold. Ultimate Spinach. Really happy to get that one. Alright, now we're going to really start getting into the grails. So I got a nice little pile here. This is a grail for me. I'm not going to tell the whole story, but I will at another point. Neil Young, an original in beautiful shape, near mint shape, of his first album, the recalled one, which had the different mix, which Neil wasn't happy about. The sort of, I'm not going to tell the story, but this is like a grail for me, and really happy to get it. I didn't have to pay a lot for it, thankfully, so yeah, blown away. I will say it sounds like shit, though. It really does. I've heard this mix before, and there's a reason why Neil hated it. I mean, especially a few, like 3 of the tracks, they literally sound like they're underwater. I will say the absolute best mix to get is the most recent one. I'm telling you, that one, which everybody has, sounds a lot better than this. But still, this is just the Neil collector in me. Had to get it. Been after it for a while. Another one I've been after for a while, and it's not an original, but still, I never see it. And love this guy, Joe Bird and the Field Hippies, with the American Metaphysical Circus. Again, another essential Psych album. For those of you who like the United States of America, this is definitely up there with it. Of course, Joseph Bird was behind the United States of America. But yeah, so happy to finally get this. In mint shape, except for the saw cut corner. Avant-garde Psych. Again, like it's cheese, but it's phenomenal. It's hard to describe. You just have to hear it. On Capitol, this is the, what is this? The Capitol Masterworks. That's it. CBS Capitol Masterworks pressing, and beautiful shape, and it was cheap, so really happy to get this one. Love this guy. Moving on here, let's see. Jazz album. This is a really cool score, and I saw it and I was like, I gotta get it, you know? But it's Duke Ellington. With Charles Mingus and Max Roach. And this is Money Jungle. Just a really fantastic jazz album. I mean, think about it, those 3 guys. Yeah, Duke Ellington, Alan Douglas, he's the producer, Max Roach, and yeah, Charlie Mingus. In near mint shape, an original mono on United Jazz. See the label? And yeah, really happy to get this, man. Just, again, near mint. Fantastic. Finally scored a copy. I've been after this one for a while. I gotta thank Mike, Bostonian Reggie. I'd heard of this band on comps, but never checked them out, and he showed the album, and I looked them up. Wow. White Noise with Electrical Storm. I love that cover. Just love it. It looks good sitting up there on the shelf. But wow, what an album. Just really, I don't know how to describe it. It's like, I can't even begin to describe it. It's very out there, avant-garde. It's electronic. It's not electronic though. You have to hear it. That's the only way I could put it, and it's a classic. It's become a classic, I should say. White Noise, fantastic, on Island Records. It's a reissue of some sort, but still very happy to get it. What are we at for time? 23 minutes, alright. I still got a bunch to show here. I don't know where to start. Alright, I'll show these. Hang in there, I'm telling you, you won't regret it if you like looking at records. This one I've been after for a long time. Finally scored this for so cheap, and it seems like the even newer reissues go for a lot of money. And this is like a second pressing. It might even be, I don't know what pressing it is, but it is a US pressing of Jade Warrior, their first album. So glad to finally get this on Vertigo. It's Spaceship Vertigo. This album is phenomenal. I have 2 other Jade Warrior albums, but this is the one I've been after. Look at that cover. I mean, I love that cover. It's like one of my favorite covers for some reason. Just that whole scenery and the layout, just love it. So it's like, it's Prog. Those of you familiar with the band July members from July formed Jade Warrior. So it's Prog, but like world music, Psych, even like sort of Jethro Tull like at times. I don't know how else to put it, but yeah, Jade Warrior in beautiful shape. So happy to get this. Yeah, it's the Spaceship Vertigo US pressing, so really happy to get it. Let's see. This one too. This was originally in the record store for quite a bit of money, and I didn't buy it, you know, and they finally marked it down, so they cut the price right in half, so I grabbed it. Peter Hamill with his second solo album, Chameleon in the Shadow of Night. What a record this is. For those of you who like Vendergraaf Generator, it's not Vendergraaf Generator, but it's still, it's hard to describe. It's very, I think it's sort of different. He's playing an acoustic and he's really into it. Like it's hard to describe. But there are definitely proggy, jazzy moments, a lot of different things going on. But this is fantastic. And a near mint copy, UK pressing on the famous Charisma label. I have his first solo album as well. This is excellent, I'm telling you. Peter Hamill, awesome. I'll show this one. Well, hold on. This one I've been after for a while too. I almost paid a lot for it in the store, and thank God I waited because I got it for a lot cheaper. I was with Mike, Bostonian Reggie. So Mike, Roy Harper, Folk Jokopus. Yeah, Folk Jokopus. Man, what is this? I don't know, it's 4th or 5th album or something. It's before Stormcock. So I sort of think of this as Roy's sort of psych pop album in a way. There's a lot, it's sort of poppier in a lot of ways, but still very much Roy Harper and folkier at times, and phenomenal record. US pressing on World Pacific. Again, just gorgeous shape. Sorry, I know this video is long, but yeah, really happy to get this one for not a lot of money at all. These albums go for a lot sometimes, Roy Harper's. So happy to get it. Trying to see here. Alright. Getting down to it now. Finally found a copy of Klaus Schulze X. An original on Brain 2 LP set from like 1978. Still has the booklet. I mean, it's like near mint. 2 LPs on Brain, which I think this was the Brain label at the time. 78. Fantastic electronic, ambient electronic. Killer. This album, this is actually the 3rd time I've gotten this album. Well, I should say I've ordered this album 3 times. I got it, it came, it sounded like crap. There was something wrong with it, and I sent it back, and I got my money back. I ordered another one from somewhere else, and it never came. Finally, I gave up for a little while and ordered it again, and finally I got it. It sounds good. I'm happy with it. But yeah, Ikem Reichel, The Green Journey, finally got it. What an album. I mean, phenomenal. Krautrock. Really happy to finally get this album. Really killer. You guys know it. I think a lot of you know this album. Space rock. Phenomenal. This one here for me is a jazz grail that I didn't really know about at all. I have an album by this guy, but this is a whole different animal. So this is Larry Young, Lawrence of Newark. And yep, it's an original promo copy on, what is this label? Perception. What a record. This is just like jumped to like the top my favorite jazz albums. This album is phenomenal. Funky, free jazz, it's everything. It's funky, it's just killer. Great players on it. You gotta hear it. I'm telling you, you gotta hear it. There's a mystery guest player on it, and I think it's pretty widely known that it's Pharoah Sanders playing on it. You could just tell by listening to it. But yeah, man, an original in gorgeous shape, absolutely gorgeous shape. Promo copy, and it says it on the label. Gorgeous Perception label, promotional copy. This album is so good. I'm telling you, if you don't know it, buy it. Reissues of this are very easily available, very cheap. But if you could find an original, you know, I highly recommend this album, Lawrence of Newark by Larry Young. I have Unity by him, but this is just on a whole other level. Alright, finally found a copy, reissue. Asherah Temples join in. Unofficial, I'm sure, but it's still pretty nice. Asherah Temples join in on Ore. Fantastic krautrock record. I mean, what is there to say? Their fourth album. I think I now have all four, their first four albums. What else? Alright, getting down to the last few. Found this, and this thing, these next three albums are so mint, it's unreal. They're like unplayed, beautiful. I just had the opportunity to get them at a really nice price, and I did. Universe Zero, their debut. This is the French pressing on Atom Records, Atom, however you say that, Atom. This is Belgian, Prog, dark sort of. I have another one of their records. It's dark sort of, I don't know. Again, almost modern classical at times, just jazzy at times. This thing is gorgeous. These next three, I'm just gonna tell you now, they look unplayed, and so happy to get this one. I think this one's still pretty much considered their best one, among the best in like the rock and opposition sort of movement. Along with those, I also picked up an absolutely pristine original UK pressing of Slap Happy and Henry Cow's Desperate Straits. Again, absolutely pristine. There's nothing wrong with this. It seriously looks unplayed. I checked the dead wax. It is a first pressing. Unbelievable. So this is when Slap Happy and Henry Cow sort of merged. They did this collaboration, and after this they just became Henry Cow, really. Monster, monster. And finally, the last thing here, again, absolutely near mint. Now this isn't a first pressing, it's a later pressing, but it's still a Dutch pressing of Super Sisters, Present from Nancy. Wow, again, for those of you who like Canterbury Prog, sort of jazzy prog, this is like Canterbury Prog with like a, I don't know, there's a lot of different little things going. These guys were so young when they did this. I mean, look at them. Almost like a Frank Zappa sort of thing going on at times. But yeah, on Polydor. This is the 1977 repress, not a gatefold, but any Super Sister is just like, you know. So those are my finds. Oh God. Hey, I broke the rules. What can I say? Half hour. Thank you for watching. Leave comments. Alright. Have a good one, guys.